Hey, hi everyone. Sorry for the delay. I was actually some system issue was there. I was restarting my system. System updates were running. So sorry for the delay. We'll get started, right? Okay, so let us do a quick revision what we have seen in yesterday's class. We were talking about Git, right? So we have understood few concepts like how to create your GitHub account, right? And once you have created your GitHub account, how to basically, let me write down, just give me 1 minute. So let us do a quick summary, what we have seen in yesterday's class. The first thing we understood is installation. So we need to install 3 things. One is your Git, one is your GitHub. And once Git and GitHub is done, then we need to, GitHub is a website, so you need to log in. Git is an application you need to download. And then we understood how to install VS Code and extensions. After that, what we have done, we have gone to GitHub, right? Once we have created GitHub, in GitHub, we have created an empty repository. We have created a new repository, right? And once we have created this new repository, we came to our VS Code. We have created in VS Code, we have created a folder where we really want to, basically in your system, you have created a folder where you really want to run the project, right? In that folder, you have opened VS Code, and what you have done is you have cloned. So what do you mean by cloning? Cloning means you have just git clone and then from the URL, GitHub URL. So what it will do, this repository will come to your local system. Okay. So when you clone, the entire repository is now present in your VS Code. Then you start writing your code. So you have created, let's say, some new file. Any new file that you are creating is untracked, because if you added something newly, completely new, that is not there in the GitHub, any new changes that you have done, it's kind of untracked. Maybe you have sometime modified, let's say, existing file. Let's say there is a readme file or any file you have done. So all the modified and untracked file, what you have done, you have just written a code called git add. So what git status will tell you whether you have any untracked and modified file. After you run git status and you know that there are some unmodified and untracked files, so you need to add them to staging area. So staging means you are preparing them for commit. So you're writing a code called git, and then you're writing add and dot. So all the codes, all the files which is present in the staging area are added, and then you're writing git commit. So once you have written this git commit, and then m minus and m the message. So what will happen is this entire thing will be saved, or a snapshot is taken. But whatever you have done, you can also go to VS Code. There is a plus symbol and commit from the URL, like the UI also you can do it, or by opening a terminal, you can type all of this command and it will work, right? So once you have done this, the last thing that you have done is you need to push these changes to your GitHub account. So there is something called or push git push origin main, right? You will be writing a command called git push origin main. So what exactly it will do? Today we will understand what is origin and what is main, maybe, right? But what this command will do, basically, this is a syncing command. It will sync your Git with GitHub, right? It will sync your code between Git and GitHub. So whatever changes you have done in your local, it will do the same change in your remote. So this is what we have understood so far, right? And I think these are the basic things. I thought of starting with the merging and main branch and all that. I don't want to complicate things. When we go to real-time coding, when we will go with our project one, I will talk about main, because you need a real-time example. So main is nothing but the master branch. So in real time, we will not do changes directly in the master branch. Rather, we will create some branches. And once we are sure our code is finalized, those we will be adding to the master branch, like the main file, right? So about merge and main and branch and all that, we will discuss later. But till here is what we have understood. right? I think these are the basic requirement to start with Git. Eventually, when we, one more thing just I want to add, like if you want to do the reverse, let's say you have not created your account in GitHub. This is the easiest way. This is the most easiest way. And I will recommend you to do this way, but you can go reverse. Reverse means what? Let's say you want to start from local and let's say you don't have any repository in GitHub. You have created a folder, and inside that folder, you want to initialize Git. And then once you have initialized Git, you want to make changes. And once you have make some changes, you want to push the code, entire repository, entire folder you want to push to GitHub. So that also you can do, right? There's one more command called git remote add origin. Here, git push and git remote. I am just keeping that part because I believe this is the best way, but you just need to understand one more command along with this. I think this is basic. Something called git init. Okay, so what do you mean by git init? I'll talk about git init in next session, but this is the flow. Always, what is the best approach? Create an empty repository, create a folder, write your code, add to staging area, commit, and then push, right? Let's say sometime you want to do reverse, means what? You want to first create or initialize a Git repository locally and then push it to remote. You can do it. So there is something called git init. I'll maybe show you some examples. So we are here. I'll execute this, right? So this is my terminal. And what I want is, I just want, let's say this is already a Git repository. Let me create a new folder. Let's say this is not here, but inside this, right? So I just want to create a new folder. Let's say this is trial folder, right? Trial demo. And
you can see the notepad.
Okay, again it is freezed. Oh, I'll just share my screen. Okay, so let me share my screen. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm just right. So you can see I have created a new folder called trial demo, right? It's a new folder.
Sorry, ma'am. Still, whiteboard. I'm able to see. Not that
Is it?
folder. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just 1 second. Yeah, I think now you can see, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, yeah. So I was just talking about creating this new folder. So I have created a new folder called trial demo, right? And let's say I want to work on my project inside this folder. Okay, I want to work on my project inside this trial demo folder. So what I want to do here is I'll come to this folder first. So I am in Git demo. So how to go back? So I'll come here in the terminal, right? And I will type cd dot dot. So you can see I'm in E drive and okay, I was already inside Git demo. So right. So I'm inside this Git demo folder, but I don't want to go inside demo Git. Why? Because demo Git is already a Git initialized folder. I want to go inside trial demo, which is a completely new folder, empty folder, nothing is there. Why I want to go to that folder? I want to start my project inside that folder and I want to initialize a Git inside that folder. So remember, this time we are not doing anything to GitHub. We are directly starting locally from our system. So I want to go inside this trial demo. So what I need to do is cd and then I just need to go inside this trial demo. So I'm inside this trial demo folder. So in this trial demo folder, if I just write this ls, you can see I don't have anything. ls is nothing, but it will list down all the files that is present. Now I don't have any file and ls minus a, I think it's a should take. Anyway, a will actually list down all the hidden files. So you can see now I don't have any hidden files or anything. So ls, if I just clear my screen, right? So I'm here and I don't have any file. So what I want to do is the first command that I want to write is called git init. So what do you mean by git init? What exactly it will do? So let me repeat. So git init is a very important code which will make your current folder wherever you are. I am inside trial demo. So wherever you are, folder means repository. Hence onwards, I will call folder as repo, okay, repository. So it will make your current local repository as Git repository. Now it is just a folder, but I want to make it a Git repository. How? By calling this function called git init. So what this init will do, it will initialize Git inside it. So you can see initialized empty Git repository in this path, right? And you can see how you will check whether it is initialized or not. There is a hidden file called .git. You will find this hidden file present inside your folder called trial demo. Let me repeat what I'm trying to do is, let's say today I thought I will start a new project. I have created a folder, and inside that folder, the first command that I will write is git init. So what do you mean by that? Git init means I am initializing this particular folder as a Git repository. By writing git init, you're initializing an empty Git repository. Now it is done. I have already a Git. You can see in this particular path, I already have a .git file. .git means this folder, whatever I'm doing inside this folder will be tracked hence onwards because it is a Git folder. Now what next I can do? I can do whatever I want to do. For example, let's say I just want to create a Python file. Let's say this is nothing but demo.py. And inside this demo.py, I'm just writing some print command. Let's say print hi, right? And let me change the name because I already have demo.py. So let's say this is Python class 2. Okay, so this is Python class 2.py. Okay, so you can see this is untracked. Why this is you now? Because this folder trial demo is a Git folder right now. And the same steps I can repeat. So what I can do is you tell what I need to do next. What command I should write? It is untracked. So what command I should write next?
Git status.
Yes. So if I just type here git status, you can see that there is one file which is untracked. I just want to add it to, you tell what next I need to do. I know that there is one file which is untracked. Next, what I need to do?
Git
Git
add.
add. Yes. So git add, you can directly write the file name. And if you are lazy like me, so just you write dot. So all the files, sometimes this dot will not work because you may not be interested adding all the files to the staging area. In that case, you can write the file name like git add python class2.py. So only that will be added. But dot, everything, whatever is there in the untracked or modified state, everything will be added. Now you can see the you can see A. A means what? It has been added, right? You can see added to the staging area. What next I need to do?
Git commit.
Yes. So you can write git commit and then -m and then the message, let's say added Python class 2, right? So you can see insertion created. So this is successful. So you can see there is no U, no M. Anytime you look at your VS Code, if there is no U, no M, means your file, all the files, all the code, whatever you have in this folder, everything is tracked. Tracked means committed. Okay, now I have created everything. Do you think this has been reflected in GitHub? GitHub, any idea, like GitHub has any idea about this trial demo? No, it's a completely new thing, right? I have started from my local system. Now what I can do is, I can basically, if you have any repo already, you can do that. Otherwise, you can create an empty repo and that URL you can give. Let me go to my, there is that GitHub that I have opened. You can go to your GitHub, right? And you can create your empty You can GitHub, you can log in. Right, so this is my GitHub, and I can create a new empty repository for my trial demo. So I think the name of the repository, I can give anything. Let's say, whatever you want. Let's say test or something. Is there anything available? Test git demo. Okay. So what is the folder name? Test git demo. Okay. And description public and create. So I'm just creating an empty repository. You can add readme, I forgot. Anyway, that's fine. So I think this is my test git demo, right? And what you can do is you just copy this URL, right? From here. Better to add readme because later you can add from local. It's difficult. It's a markdown file. You can create it, but it's a markdown, so better to add it, right? So add readme and then create repository. Okay. Okay, so this test is already present. I don't know whether it is okay. It is taking test, so fine. So now what you can do is you can copy the link from here, right? Right. If you don't have README, you can copy the link from the top, but always it is advisable to add README, right? I'll tell you why. README is a markdown file. It's not a text file. You can see it is empty. If you have not added README in GitHub, from here also you can add locally. So here you can create your readme.md file and you can write your markdown code from here, no problem. But it is easier anyway, just you're clicking one thing and it is created. So why you should not opt for it, right? So you just copy this link, and what I want is this in this repository, my whatever trial demo code should reflect, right? So give me 1 minute. So what I want is whatever is there inside my trial demo should reflect in the test. Test is the repository where I want to reflect. So this is rewards. What we are doing is we are from trial demo from local, we are pushing it to. So here we are not going to use push command. Rather, we are going to use a command called remote. So remote indicates GitHub, and I'm just going to add origin and then the link that I have, right? So if I just click on this, git remote add origin, and then this. So what I'm trying to do, so you need to, why I have shown you this example. Sometimes if you look at this remote, you will be confused. I told you push, now it is remote. So what is the difference? Push means what? Push and remote, it's different. Push means you have an empty, you have created a repository and that you have cloned and you have done changes and you're pushing the changes. Here you have an empty repository created locally. You have done changes here and you are to the remote, you are sending it. So you are going to add these things to your remote. Now, if you just go back to your Git, right? So actually doing the same thing, but you should be aware of both the code, should not be confused. So any one way is okay, right? What happened? Is it reflecting? Just 1 minute. So where is my test? This is my test, right? Initial commit. You can see the commit messages here, right? Okay. So what happened to this remote? Remote origin already exists. Why this Python 2 should appear? Right? right? So push is basically, it is failing because push will work when you have cloned it, right? So when you are pushing it back, so you should remote. Remote should work. I'm surprised why it is not appearing here. And it should appear, right? Initial commit, if I check, do I have any commit message? I don't have any commit message. I'm not sure why it is not appearing here. So remote should ideally take this to GitHub. Am I doing some wrong syntactically? Think this is the syntax: git remote add origin. And you have to give the URL of your origin, right?
Can you just give git push alone?
No, push.
It will give the command if you are mistaken. So we can use that and we can give a remote.
Yeah. Yeah. Stage changes. So I think we have done it, right? Like the modified, already we have added to the staging area and everything was done. So I think, okay. Anyway, it is the same thing we are repeating, but I don't know why this remote is not working. It should work. Easiest way is just create first in GitHub. I mean, the first step number 1 that I have told you, create a empty, anyway, you're also creating empty repository, but you create an empty repository and clone it, and then you start making changes and push it. This is without cloning. If you want to create empty repository here and do changes and then you want to push it to remote, I think this remote command should work. Git remote. Anybody who has strong knowledge in Git and GitHub can let me know why this remote is not working. Ideally, this should work. I have tried multiple times. I don't know why this is not working. So remote should work. It should work. I mean, once we have done.
Git pull and then git push.
No, pull and push is fine, but I'm okay, pull and clone is fine, but I'm just thinking about the reverse way. If I have not cloned it, let's say I have changes made here and then I want to push it to my GitHub. Okay, let's check, right? What is this command is originally doing? Let's take help. Right, so git remote add origin. Okay, I think okay, so once you have added the remote, you need to again push. Okay, so I think push command you need to write after you have added the origin, because you have not cloned it. So you are adding it, the remote, and then you are pushing it. So this push, I think, should work, but why it is not working? Source main does not match. So remote add means we are adding this repository here, right? The test repository we are adding, the remote repository we are adding.
Can you mention
And then
master or that branch name by any chance?
we have only
Branch.
one. Main is master. Anyway, main is master. So if we have multiple branches, then you would have written the branch name. We have only one branch. It's an empty repository, nothing is there. So I think main indicates master only. So we are pushing this code to origin main. Origin means whatever added, right? Instead of cloning, I'm just remote add origin. So this is origin. So I'm mentioning here, this is my origin. And what I'm doing here is you add this origin. And then once I have added this origin, I'm pushing to the master branch of this origin, right?
Can you pull it once again and then push it once? That will work, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not sure why this is not working. Ideally, it should work after. Okay, so there's one more command called remote set URL. I think we can use that instead of add origin, but let's see some other answers, right? Anyways, so I think we are doing some small silly mistake we are doing. This remote, I think.
Can you try pushing it forcefully, ma'am?
Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so what is this remote? Okay, that's fine. I'm just looking at this remote set URL. I think this command we can use, right? Git remote, and we are just writing origin, add origin. Instead of add, we can write set. Instead of add origin, we can write set URL. Let's try the set URL option, right? And then we can verify it, and then we can add. Okay, so first we need to set URL and then we can add. Okay, let's try this approach. So directly add is not working. I don't know why, but we can try this git remote set URL origin, right? This command. I mean, first we need to set, and then we can add. Maybe we can try this. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I always did the first way, but it's not working. So let's try this. And then let's try this add. Remote origin already exists. Maybe the name is,
Can you please
that's
try
why I
if
did not
it's
give the
already
name.
exists on Git? I think there is one that you created yesterday, right?
Yeah.
With the same name. I think it's because of the duplicate name. Maybe can you
I think that is the issue. That's why I was little worried when I have given by mistake test as a name. It's a very common name. But anyway, I think already exists. I don't think, like, I have checked, right, in my home. There is
Set URL command, ma'am. We need to edit the Git URL.
okay.
So you already have one with the test, right? So this most likely this should not work.
Yeah. Okay, so this is for the demo. No, I think I need to go with this test. So I'm not sure why this is not working. So is this any copy is there?
Yeah, there's already an existing copy on the remote server.
So this might not be. I mean, .git is fine. No, this is not correct. So let me check. Do I have any? I think any repository with already test. I don't have any repository with test, right? I have only one. So I
Correct. So
don't
this
think
already
it's
exists on the, so you're trying to again add it to the origin, right? That's why it's failing. So
yeah, but why this push command is failing then? If it is already added, I mean,
can you do just git push instead of adding the origin? Just git push.
git push main. Okay. So origin is to tell this is the URL where, because if you have multiple repository, so I think it okay, let me I think why it should not be like that. Git push origin main. So only main means no. git push origin only, but origin indicates the URL, right? Main does
Right.
not.
So without mentioning even origin and main, if you just do git push, what does it do?
Only git push. You need to tell where you
The
want to
current
push the
branch
code,
is
right?
Stream
Yeah.
branch. So okay, so you need to first set the upstream branch to the main. I think you have it as a git push hyphen set upstream origin main, and then you can push it. Yeah. So you just need to replace the master with
Push
the
the
main.
current
That's
branch
what-
and set the remote as upstream. Okay.
And instead of master, I think you have
Okay,
to have
got
it as main.
So I think yeah. So I have not told you one more thing. I think that you should do before you jump here. So after you install your GitHub, right? After you install not your GitHub, but after you install your Git, you need to add your global username and password, right? So okay, what is username and password? So you are connecting from Git to your GitHub account and you need your credentials. So basically, after you install, there are two set of things that you need to do. Git global username, you add your username, whatever you want to give, let's say Sasmitha or whatever, and user email ID, right? That you need to add. It is saying unable to access the request URL returned 403, but this is a different error. This is not present. Permission to Git demo denied
Ma'am,
to Sasmitha STL.
I think we set URL origin to that user GitHub link. That's why we are getting this access error. The above
Yes.
set under hyphen URL command that we in that command that username is different than ours.
But I have only one user. Maybe the username is different. That's what. So I can set this as a global user. So if I set this as a global user and password, right? I think this should work. Maybe when I have set this, maybe I'm not used the keyword global. I did not remember what I have set. But anyways, so I will figure it out. I think ideally when you do this remote and you just push it, it should work. You're just going to add your remote, and then why we are doing it, we really don't know what is our remote URL, right? Like the GitHub account or repository where we want to add this code. So that's why we are adding. So git remote add origin is nothing but we are adding the origin means the repository that we have created in your GitHub, that we are adding to origin, and then we are pushing to the main branch. Main means master, right? We are pushing our whatever changes we have done from Git. So this push means always connection between Git and GitHub. So we're pushing our whatever changes we have done to the origin, which is https github sasmitha test.git. That is origin. And in that origin, we have something called master branch. So in that master branch, we are pushing our code. But I don't know why this is not working. Maybe because of some access issues, a lot of error it is coming, right? Anyway, I'll figure it out. And I'll talk about setting of global user names, right? That is one thing that you need to do. So whenever you create your, let me clear this first, right? A lot of things. The easiest way is just go with starting with GitHub first and then clone it, do the changes and push it. But I think this also is a easy way where you can start your local system by writing git init, you initialize, you write the code, change, commit, and then you add the origin and then push it. So this way also it should work. This did not work. I'll find out why this did not work. Having said that, there is one more setting I forgot yesterday that you need to do. Right? Yeah. So the changes that you need to do next is basically you will set your global username and password, right, by writing git global configuration. So in the configuration, you will be adding your global username and password. So that is the credential that you need to connect with GitHub. I'll pause here for some time, and if you have any doubt, let me know so far, right? I'm just taking some of the error help that you have. My mind is stuck here. Why this did not work? Okay, I mean, this is the reverse way, right? I think this is the reverse way that we have done yesterday. So we are cloning it, and then we are adding, committing, and pushing. So this already worked. This is working for us. This is not a problem. The remote command is not working, right? When we are adding that and then we're pushing, that is not working. I don't know why that did not. Yeah, so this is, you are creating, you are starting in it. This is the exact thing that we have done. I don't know why it is an error. Okay, so push origin main after commit. No, we have already committed, right? So commit is not an issue. After commit, git push origin main. I don't think this is the solution because we are getting error here, right?
Can you try changing the name from test to something else? Just
Yeah, I think the test is a problem. Maybe, yeah, I will try that, right? Because the process is same. I'm not sure why it is throwing error, but I think maybe the test is a problem. The repository name might be duplicated. That can be one problem. Otherwise, it is showing already added means it's already added, then why it is not pushing, right? If it is already added, this command should work. Push origin should not give error. I'll figure it out what is the issue, okay? I don't want to waste your time, but I will find out, right? Anyways, but this is the approach. You need to initialize and then you need to add, you need to commit, you need to run the remote command to add the path where you want to add, and then you just need to push, and that is the flow. I'll find out why this did not work. I am expecting one of the cause maybe the duplication of this folder name like test, right? And that might be a cause. I don't find any other issue here, right? Okay, and second issue might be global user and local user confusion. So I need to set Sasmitha CTL as a global user, right? So local means only to that project. Global means for that entire GitHub repository, you have one username and one password, right? So that is global. So I think that I need to do. I will check and I will let you know what is the cause, right, of this error. Anyway, but any doubt so far? But this is the process to go reverse. And the whole objective is interacting with Git and GitHub. So you do changes, sync it, you do changes and sync it. So that is the whole objective. How you are doing it, your wish. Clone is a better approach. So instead of adding remote, I think cloning is a better approach, because cloning means you're getting a copy of your GitHub directly into your local and you're doing changes and push. So cloning means already you know what is your GitHub. So I think this process we have already worked yesterday. Any way you can do. Ultimately, the objective is you need to push your code to GitHub. Either you clone it and then do changes and push it, or you do the changes first and then you add it using remote and then you push it. So your way, right? Your wish. Any one of this is fine. And there is last concept, that is branching, right? So, okay. So we have one branch here, which is main. Yeah. So we don't have any other branch. So why? So branching concept we will understand tomorrow. The default branch is always master branch, that is main branch. But let's say you are working in one part of the code, I am working in another part of the code, and we have a manager. So main is master is the major branch, and sub branches are like created from master. So you do whatever changes, all the snapshots, all the commits you will find in branch 1, all my commits you will find in branch 2. And then finally the manager or whoever, like when you want to merge the branch 1 with masters, you can write a merge command and it will be merged with the master. So it will ask you, are you sure you want to merge your code with master? You say, like when you write the merge command, it will be merged with master. Means what? All the changes, all the commits that has been done in branch 1, that will be reflecting in the main branch or master branch. What is the advantage? Advantage is you will keep your main code secure from any changes. So in real time, you can be the approver. Let's say you are a manager, you are a senior resource, and there are interns who are doing some changes in the code, but they are in an independent branch. If they deleted or have done anything, that will not do any impact on your main code. Until unless you validated their result, you validated their code and you approve, they cannot add their code or merge their code into master. So there is a benefit of branching, and I think we can understand branching while working in a project. As I said, it is just a starting point. Every time, every project that we do, we have to use Git and GitHub extensively. So in the first project, when we build our first dashboard, we will not do anything to the master. We will just keep the basic code in the master, and then we'll create a branch. We will do all the changes. We will do a lot of hit and trial. Sometimes we will delete some files. Sometimes we will add some new data. And finally, when we are sure our code is finalized, all the changes are done, then in the last, we will basically merge our branch into master. And you can see what is happening, how this is happening. And this is not much lines of code, just 2-3 lines of code and done. For creating branch, 2 lines, and for merging 1 line. So 3 to 4 extra lines of code you will write to create another branch and merge it. So that is the only concept which you need. There are a lot of other concepts, but in real time, I think this is okay to start with, right? Other concept you can learn eventually, but this is the basic things that you should know, right? Before you start working with Git. Okay. So I think most of you are waiting for me to share the syllabus with you. I think I will be able to share the syllabus with you by tomorrow, right? And please go through the syllabus. And if you have any queries, let me know. In the syllabus, you will find all the project details and the topics, right? Any questions, anything that you want to ask? We are already out of time, but yeah.
Ma'am, have you uploaded yesterday's GitHub? Yes.
I'll upload a cheat sheet, right? So cheat sheet means what? All the Git commands, maybe my handwritten, or I have some good, nice documents I'll upload today. The cheat sheet, I think you already know the objective, right? Now, if you look at Git add and Git commit, you will understand what is that code mean. Git remote, Git init, right? And then Git push. We will understand Git pull, Git merge, create branch. So all of this code we will understand, but basic code, 80% of the code you can understand if you look at the cheat sheet, but still there will be some code which you will not understand. Don't worry about it. When we go to project, you will understand about branching, merging, pulling, and everything. But I think I will share the file. I'll upload the file on the drive. You can check, you can download it. Okay. Or if you want, I can write it and share my handwritten notes. Anything is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, please. If it is with the steps, no, it will be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I
Ma'am.
think yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm of previous batch. I wanted some. I had some questions. Can I talk to you later?
Yeah, Nilesh, you can ping me. You can directly call me. You have my number, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Hello,
So yeah, Nikhil.
are you going to cover generative AI as well?
So the generative AI part, it needs a lot of background, right? First you need to understand the NLP background, and then only you will understand the generative AI. So what I'm planning is I'll combine all the batches so far, right? And it will be a common weekend 2-3 hours session where you see, you need time to become expert in generative AI. It's a very vast field. Having said that, generative AI is not about prompt engineering. That's different, right? So generative AI is about understanding RAG, understanding NLP basics, understanding lang chain. So there is a background behind generative AI. The background will be covered here, like you will understand about the NLP background. And the lang chain is one of the tools that you will use, vector database, lang chain, Pinecone and all. I don't know how much you will able to understand, but I will try to demonstrate end-to-end one project using generative AI building a query bot. So this is something known as RAG, right? Retrieval augmented generation. So what is that? So you cannot simply rely totally 100% on LLM. Lot of the time it will hallucinate, and in real world it is a failure. You cannot really build application only using LLM. Lot of the time, because it has been trained on general data, normal data, it will give you very much wrong answers when you are using LLM on your data. Your data means your domain data. There is a new concept where you will take LLM, but you will feed LLM with your data. That is called hyperparameter tuning, or your document you will feed as a training document. The generative AI first, the LLM model first, it will search in your document. If it did not find any result, then only it will use its own intelligence. So that is called RAG. It's a very complicated, high-end topic. Honestly, to help you understand generative AI, again, 1 month of time is needed if you want to become expert. But the background, 15 days background, 10 to 12 days of background, like what is NLP, what is stopword, what is ngram, what is word embedding technique, how test is converted to number, right? What is TF-IDF, what is count vectorizer, what is BERT, what is transfer learning, what exactly happening, how we are converting NLP data, text data to numbers. Those all things you will understand in project 2 using deep learning. Not only that, you will also understand deep learning. So understand the difficulty level. So because you're learning very first time, I don't want to make it super complicated. Otherwise, it is impossible thing to know. Are you getting? So you have to understand NLP, you have to understand deep learning, and you have to understand generative AI, which is a complicated task. Let's do one thing. What I thought is, in the second project, only on deep learning and NLP, traditional NLP, without using any LLM, we will build our model from scratch. You know the background, you know the background of any traditional NLP project. Once you know that, in a normal weekend class, it's a class for everyone where I will tell you end-to-end one generative AI project we will do. It will take 2 to 3 hours. If you have the background of NLP, I believe you will able to understand, not 100%, but at least you will get a path, like 60 to 70% you will understand. What is agent, what is, how to use lang chain, how to use Pinecone database. So entire tool set and the flow you will understand. To master in generative AI, you need to have a very good understanding about a lot of things, which will take time. So to answer you, are we covering generative AI? Yes and no both. No, because we are going in the traditional NLP way to understand the NLP details. Yes, because we have only one demo project where I will show you end to end, and you can ask any doubt in that project. I will stop. It may take 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, but I will make sure I will answer all your questions. You will understand that project 100%. That doesn't mean you are expert in generative AI. So generative AI is a very, very, very vast field. We have text, we have image. In image, we have different set of LLM models. In text, we have different set of LLM models. LLM models are of two types, paid and open source, right? And let's say you are going with paid one because that is easy to use. There is a concern of security, data breach, privacy, because you are sharing your data with OpenAI. Who knows what they will do with your data? How to secure? Then comes the concept of cloud. And in cloud, there are a lot of tools and services that you need to understand with respect to use cloud services, LLM as a service, right? Cloud LLM as a service. Then again, you need to understand about if you're using AWS Bedrock, if you're using Azure OpenML. So a lot of concepts. Are you getting? So it's a huge learning. It is not a 1 day, 2 day, 3 day task. It will take time. And in the interview, you don't expect to clear generative AI interview questions. Not so easy. They will ask you a lot of questions. Like one question is, what is the feedback? So how you will know that LLM is not hallucinating, how you have tested your model, how you have validated your model. That is a challenging question. Till now, I mean, it's a very hard to answer question. Whatever result your ChatGPT or OpenAI models are giving, what is the guarantee that is truth? Have you validated it? Like how to validate? You don't know, right? Because that's again a challenging question to answer in the interview. Second thing is privacy. They will grill you on privacy and security. Right? What about privacy? Why you have chosen paid one? Why not open one? What all are the pros? What all are the cons? If you have there are pros and cons. You cannot really, there is no yes and no answers. If you tell them, okay, free one because it is free, then they will ask you, it is so much difficult because billions of parameter. You really need a high-end machine. So cost will increase like so much, right? They will ask you a lot of questions. But if you tell free, not free one, let's say paid one, they will ask you on security side, how you are securing your data, what all security algorithm you have implemented. You will say, I don't know, I have used AWS or Azure because that is easy. Already everything is there. I will just plug and play. Then they'll ask you about AWS, Bedrock, or a lot of services, even if it is Azure, OpenAI. So you are getting the generative AI. And this is, I'm talking with respect to text. If you go to your image, there is again a set of different LLM models. So you cannot export in text and image both. You will select either image or text. Then they will ask you a lot of questions on real time. So honestly, based on my experience, none of the companies has a successful LLM application which is implemented. I mean, none of the company means very rare, like 100 out of 100, 2-3% has been implemented, and 90 to 95% of the code that we do using LLM are failing or scrapped because of these reasons. And you will struggle with that. So you are understanding it's not a simple thing. LLM is, generative AI is the advanced topic. First, you have to know the basics. Once you have worked in data science for, let's say, 1 year, 2 year, then only you will understand the next level, that is generative AI. For freshers, I mean, lot of challenges are there. I mean, you cannot directly start with generative AI, skipping the basics. First, you have to know the basics, and then only you can go to generative AI. This is the next level. I don't know who asked, but you understood in real time. And I can give you courses on generative AI, but you will fail drastically if you include generative AI. POC level project you can include, but if you have included any project related to generative AI and you told them you have productionalized that code, there's a high probability that you will be rejected if you have not really productionalized it, because there are the interviewer themselves will be struggling. They don't know how to productionalize because of these issues. So they will not believe you, right? So POC level project, yes, there are hundreds of projects. I can give you example, but in real time, it is a lot of challenges are there. I mean, still it is security versus cost. There is a dilemma, which one to give priority. Security is more important or cost is more important. For some company, cost is important. If you are working in a startup, they really don't care about security. Cost is important. But if you're working in Paytm, Goldman Sachs, you understand how much important security is. So they will give more priority to security. And again, there is another part. They will also ask you about costing. So when you're using OpenAI, it is not free. There is a limit. For each number of tokens, you will be charged. So they will ask you about your pricing model, how much cost it has, right? Let's say to run this application for 1 hour on this much amount of data, what is the cost that you have to pay? So all of these questions you cannot really answer in interview unless you are in the production environment. So my suggestion to everyone is learn about generative AI, understand the framework, LangChain and all, and you can be honest, like you can see POC level project you have done, because the interviewer themselves, they are not able to success. Most of the good companies are struggling with this part. It is still not standardized yet. I mean, there are platforms. You must be asking me, okay, why it is not standardized? I have cloud platforms, AWS, Azure and all that. But I told you the challenges, right? The challenges are security versus price. Is it really worth it? And second thing is, if you go deeper, most of the companies are dealing with which kind of data? Tabular data. And generative AI, the whole concept is on unstructured data. Means you should have text data or image data most of the time, right? And you can ask me, okay, now ChatGPT can take your Excel file and generate reports. It has been tested and tested by me that reports that ChatGPT will build based on raw Excel file is not that much appealing than a human will do. And a lot of the time it hallucinate. So my experience with respect to generative AI is it is still at a hype level. Many companies are overexcited about it. When it comes to productionalizing Gen AI solutions, I mean, still it is a challenge, right? I mean, I will not say there is no success, but there is a very limited amount of success. A lot of the chance that it will fail. Fail in the sense you will compromise either with respect to cost or security. Security is always a challenge, and feedback, validation, reliability and security. These are the two challenges, reliability and security. So can you really rely when you're building a tool, you are relying on them, right? What if it is hallucinating? What if it is giving you a wrong output and you're totally trusting that result? So it is riveting. So reliability and security, these are the two struggle. So, I can give you an idea about generative AI so that if in the interview they're asking you, that you can answer like what is LangChain, what is prompt engineering, what is Pinecone. But yeah, you can say some POC projects you have done. In real-time project, if you are writing, you cannot justify until unless you yourself has done something in real time. Real-time situations are completely different. With respect to Gen AI, I am saying. And the world is changing. Every 1 month, 2 months, you will see one new LLM application is coming. LLM model is coming, like Gemini Pro and then Falcon and then OpenAI, this versus that versus that. So what is good, what is bad? Again, there is a competition. So it's a very much trending research-oriented field. You need expert knowledge. Interns, freshers, even if they're building LLM application, I mean, it's scary. It can break. So a lot of things are there. I hope I answered your query, but it's a long answer, but I shared all my pains with this LLM.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is POC level, it is fine. Everyone will be happy, all good, nice. I have done that. In Paytm, I have built a query bot and you will upload your data Excel file and you can ask question, it will answer. And yeah, it was working, but I mean, it was hallucinating for some questions, right? And it is not good. I mean, how you will trust that model? It was working 80% of the time, it was giving correct result, but 10-20% of the time it was giving wrong result. So it was hallucinating. And the feedback is very important. So how to collect feedback? We really don't know. In machine learning, we have a standard approach to collect feedback. In OpenAI or in any LLM model, collecting feedback is really challenging. Is it manual? It is automated. How you will collect feedback? You have to ask people to test the LLM application and share their feedback. Or is there any other approach? And like Paytm data is 75 crores Indian data. Every Indian every day spending data. Can I share those data with OpenAI? That is a question you should ask, right? What about the security? We don't know. Are they using my Paytm data to train their OpenAI model to get it better? Who knows what they're doing? It's not centralized, right? It's decentralized. Entire data you're giving to OpenAI. What is the guarantee that? And if something happened, data breach happened, entire company you can understand the security challenges. Lot of things. And let's say if I don't use OpenAI, let's say I'm using Hugging Face, accuracy will be even bad. And so there is always a production level challenges. And in real time, it is very hard to deploy, right? I don't know, maybe in future it will be more standardized, but as of today, there are a lot of challenges I can see when you are deploying or creating a real-time LLM application, right? POC level, what you are looking at YouTube, Udemy, that is nothing. So that is POC level. And Paytm data is in petabytes. Again, cost is a factor. Riveting. So how much you can spend? Are you willing to spend millions of dollars just because someone can upload the data and ask questions. Why can't you? Are you getting? So hiring a BI analyst is cheaper than running this application. Are you getting what the points that I'm talking is actually a challenge? Lot of things you need to think: budget, cost, security, feedback, hallucination. So this makes LLM application a little difficult in real time to deploy, especially in fintech, banking, this kind of industries, right? Okay, so fine. I think
One small question, ma'am. What are the prerequisites to be learned before? I mean, like for this course, ma'am, to get enrolled. Any prerequisite required?
Prerequisite is nothing. Python, core Python, you should know. I think rest all I will take care.
Okay.
Yeah. Some basic core Python is what I'm expecting.
Okay.
Rest all things, whatever is needed, I will take care, right? I'll start with pandas and everything from detail, from scratch. Very, very detailed we will understand.
Okay.
Plotly also, we will discuss Plotly with respect to the different visualization charts, what kind of chart you should use, where you should use what kind of chart, right? Where you should use distribution plot, where you should use time series plot, where you should use, if you have used level of data to represent in a one chart, what kind of chart is helpful. If you want to understand relationship, what is happening to y when x is increasing or decreasing, what kind of chart you should use, right? So all of these things we will understand. And with respect to Dash, I will give you a background about Dash. You can create your front end application using that. Right?
Okay. Any statistical information? I mean, mathematics or something is required for this, ma'am?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is required a lot, not little bit, but I will take care of that. Don't worry about ML. I will take care of it.
Okay.
So all the algorithm I will tell you from scratch, and all the maths required I will explain you.
Fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone.
We'll continue with the Git, madam.
We will continue with Git. I think small topic is remaining. This issue I will solve and merge and branch, and then we will start with pandas tomorrow. And I will share with you the WhatsApp group you can join, and people who have enrolled newly, please take the recordings of core Python, go through it at your own time, and Saturday let us connect if you have any doubt, only with respect to core Python. If you are all good, we can continue. Tomorrow it's an independent topic. Everyone, irrespective of your background, you can understand. There is no link of list, tuple, set, dictionary, and core Python with respect to pandas. It's an independent topic. So you will understand. Okay?
Hello, Sasmitha?
Yes, so entire flow we will learn hyperparameter tuning only. We will do a lot of hyperparameter tuning. So we will understand ML flow, we will understand hyperparameter tuning and lot of things, right?
Hello, Sasmitha?
Ma'am, you mentioned you'll
Yeah.
also be sharing your video on Git and GitHub. So is it required? I mean, will you be sharing it, madam?
I think, yeah. So Git and GitHub, you can take this videos, right? I think the videos that has been uploaded on your drive. But if you want the YouTube link you're talking about.
You mentioned your recorded session also there, you will share it. Is what you mentioned.
So I think recorded session, you can take your own class recordings. Anyway, it is something which has been done in your class. So if you look at the recordings, you will understand better, right? Instead of watching some other batch recording, you watch your recording, your batch recording for this Git and GitHub. I think once we understand branching and other thing, it will be super helpful. I think this is what we need to start with. And we will repeat Git and GitHub. It's a topic, every project we will repeat.
Okay, yeah.
I will share the document though, right? That is pending from my side. The Git and GitHub document I will share, the cheat sheet, all the code.
Sure, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And it's a very common topic. Again, it's nothing related to MLOps. Everyone you will agree if you are from software engineering background. So everyone should know this Git and GitHub. It's a very universal topic like Python and all that, right? So you will get hundreds of videos available on YouTube. Just see videos from a lot of YouTube videos are available. 1 hour, 2 hour, if you spend, you will be expert in Git and GitHub, right? Hundreds of tutorials are available. It's a very common topic. But yes, I will try to make it super simple so that everybody will understand. Right? Okay, thank you everyone. We'll connect tomorrow.
Sasmitha,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
hello.
you. Yeah, I'm running out of time. So yeah.
No, I really sorry. That's why I just pinged you. I have some questions which I need to clarify that really helps me.
Okay.
Is there any way possible to reach you to clarify those questions?
Yeah, you can.
I
You
just,
can send me
as a matter of fact, as well on the chart, I pinged you. If you see my latest message.
Understood. Okay. So I think let me share my. Anyway, you will be added to the WhatsApp group, but you can reach me with this number. You can text me.
Yeah. I'll reach you tomorrow. I think it's already late for you.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.